Let's Learn Languages on 1CMS 91.1 FM. My name's Kim and I will be your host today, and I am about to take you on a journey on a very lively language for West Africa. So West African Pidgin English. Today, I have our very own expert joining us, Chief Emmanuel, to teach us more about the Pidgin English that they speak in West Africa. Welcome, Chief. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Before we kick things off, are you able to provide a little bit of an overview about West Africa and the Pidgin English?
Well, West Africa is, as the name implies, is the western part of Africa. Now, because it is in the western part, it means that things like the cutting of the equator somehow cut across within that particular place. So it's easier for you to see some countries a little bit up and down of the equator. But, however, we have the countries that make up the West Africa itself. And each of these countries somehow speak English, and some of them speak French. So as a result of these two major languages, it is a bit difficult to communicate among themselves. So the development of Pidgin comes in, which is a kind of adulteration of the English language with infusion of some of the native languages, including French. So somehow when you move, say, from Nigeria to Cameroon, you might have a little bit of variation of the Pidgin English. Then if you move, because Cameroon speak French, Nigeria speak English. Then if you now move over to, say, Ghana speak English, you'll also have some bit of variation. So if you move to Abidjan, you will also have, because they speak French, you also have a little variation. But what then happened is, generally, the Pidgin English is spoken by the mainly uneducated, who now communicate with the educated. The educated speaks the so-called Queen's English or the bright French language. But then, when they have to communicate with the uneducated, it's a bit difficult. So there has to be a way that everyone can hear themselves. That is the origin of Pidgin English, so that whether you are educated or you are not educated, you are a grandma, a grandpa, or a child, you can communicate with any level of people with the Pidgin English. That is generally how it is. So because, for an instance, in Nigeria, each kilometer that you move, you meet a community, and that community speaks their own language. So with that, their language, the next community cannot hear or understand their language clearly. So the farther they go, the more it is completely difficult for them to understand. So for that reason, for all these communities to be able to communicate among themselves, whether they are educated or not educated, they come up with the Pidgin English. We cut across for their communication and market and educational needs sometimes.
Okay. So it's definitely a very useful language to have under your belt. So if a traveller was going to travel from, say, Nigeria to a place like Sierra Leone, how would one greet one another in Pidgin English?
Well, depending on how you move, like as you are moving, it can most of the time, sometimes the greetings comes from the original languages. But ordinarily, they can say, oh boy, or oh girl, how are you? How you day? That is, how are you? How you day? So how you day is just like telling somebody, how are you?
Okay.
So,
So how you day?
I dey well, oh. So you see, you don't day, I never see you. How you day too?
Okay.
Then you go say, I dey well too.
I do well too.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just break it down piece by piece so that people can follow along.
Okay.
So if I come up to you and I say, how your day?
Yes. How you day?
How you day?
How you day?
How do you spell that?
So HOW.
Just like how?
Yes.
Yes.
You, and sometimes too, some can spell it a little bit awkward, but HOW, then YOU, then DEY.
Ah, that's the difference.
Yes, DEY. So
Okay.
how you day?
How you day?
How you day? So it's asking you, how is your general being? What is happening about you?
Ah, okay.
So how you day? So how you see our circumstances? So you now say, my brother or my sister, are they well? Oh, that is, I am okay.
Okay.
Yes, I dey well, oh, I'm okay. Or you can say, things hard, oh, things hard, well. I tell you, we go try find a way to solve this problem now.
Okay.
So you're telling the person that things are difficult,
Okay.
that you want the person to help, or people can find a way to look for solution. But things are difficult.
Okay. So if I say, what was it again? To say I'm good?
Like if you say, how you dey, say, are they okay? You can say, are they, I'm okay.
Are they okay?
You can say, e better.
Better.
Yes, that is, it is good.
Ah.
So it depends on actually where you are. That it can, because the register can change a bit.
Yes, I can hear it. Yes. Someone, say, is speaking to someone that's much older than them.
Yes.
Is there a way to address that?
Yes, that is peculiar in West Africa because we respect the elders. And sometimes we can bow down or lie down on the floor while talking to such person. Sometimes we can even kneel down talking to the elders as a kind of respect. So when you see an elder, like if you want to greet the elder, if you are using the language, like say in the Yoruba part of Nigeria, you can say Eshe. Eshe is for an elder person, while you say Oshe, that means for a younger person. So you try to attach some kind of respect to the elder. Like say, as you just see, mama or papa, they greet you. That is, you are now saying a mother or a father who is not your mother, who is not your father, but the fact that they can bear you, they can be able to be a mother. So you now refer them into such this thing. Mama, they greet you. So you say, Mama, I am greeting you. I'm extending greetings to you. Then they will now, my pikin, thank you. That is my pikin, either my son or my daughter. Say they're expressing thank you for you greeting them. So that is the way of communicating with respect, which bring them to also do anything for you because they see you as a child who bring respect or respect the elders. Because one of the things that you may lose in course of communicating with the elders is that if you lose respect, if you don't give them respect, you can't get the best out of them.
I see. So on that note, when someone is traveling through West Africa, should they be mindful not only about the language but the delivery?
Yes, very important. The delivery is important because if you deliver to a wrong person, a wrong category of person, somehow you disrespect the person, you may not be able to get the answer to the question you want.
So how would you greet, say, someone in a market versus the authorities?
Yeah, like if you go to market, you see person that is selling, say, chicken. Sometimes they call people by what they sell. So they can just call you Mama Chicken.
I see. And that's acceptable.
That is acceptable
Okay.
because you are selling that particular
Item.
commodity. So when they call you that particular way, you will now look up because you want to sell your goods. Then they will now ask you, how much way they sell this thing now? That means how much do you sell it? So they say, how much they sell this thing? I won't buy some for my family. How you they sell them? Then they will now explain to you that the cost is maybe one naira or 10 naira, depending on the currency and country you are. It flows across with their own currency.
Okay. So just on currency,
Yes.
we've arrived at numbers now. So counting in Pidgin, is it more or less the same as English?
It's more or less the same as English. But then if you go to the native languages that goes in like Ebane, we say nge, that is one. We say me, two. Tere, ini, sono, sonie, sonoma, inine, ese, atie. Just like that, we keep counting. Or in the other languages, they will say ole, abo, ato, ano, ise, ishi, asa. So they call based on their traditional language. But when you come to the general Pidgin English, they use the counting, they use the English normal counting, the arithmetic counting.
Okay, so 1 to 10. So if I wanted to buy something at the market, I could come in and address the person,
Yes.
Sister
And then,
Chicken,
yes.
and then say 3, whatever the currency is there, $3,
Yes.
and they would understand
They
that.
will understand that particular one. Because the Pidgin is only an adaptation of English language and the native language.
I see. Okay. So most English speakers then are already ahead if they're
Yes,
traveling to West Africa.
Precisely. When they come in, they understand. It's only when the speaker is a little bit fast, then you may not be able to pick up that actually he's speaking English, but in a little bit crooked way.
Yes. Okay. So then I guess the emphasis then remains on the customs to ensure
Yes.
that the delivery is correct and that the respect is shown.
Very correct.